What's up, everybody? This is RTG, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to go over the beginner's guide to the game Periphery Online. I was going to do a video that went in depth about all of the buildings in the game first, but because I got wiped, I figured, you know what? It's time to do the beginner's guide. So to start out, you start with these 9 guys. Now, it did actually start, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, it starts you with 9 guys. It did start me with a militia member. I don't remember it doing that before. Maybe it's new. Maybe it always did that. Anywho, it starts you with 9 people, and there's usually a spider on one side and a spider on the other side that you have to usually kill right away. And because it attacked me first, I had to kill them. And so you guys don't get to see that part. But starting out, you have these 9 guys. And what you're going to want to do first before you do anything else is you click on this pickaxe icon there. And then that'll highlight all of the workers. And then you can click on the build, the hammer icon, and that'll bring up your buildings. Once you have your buildings pulled up, you should automatically be able to build a hub. Now, we are somewhat close to a pyramid, and I don't know much about pyramids, but I can tell you this right now. Do not build near them. Do not go near them. I've taken my guys there before, and literally, like immediately, half of my guys were immediately died. It was crazy. So if you see a pyramid or something to do with pirates, just steer clear until you have massive military. Um, but you can still take out pirates as normal if you see them walking around. Anyways, so we're going to make our way more this way, away from the where the pyramid was, and then we're going to put up this hub. And in order to do anything with your characters, you can highlight them like so. You can just click on one. To get the person to go anywhere, you're going to want to right click on the specific spot and or item item that you want them to start harvesting or maybe killing if it was an animal or something like that. So we're going to go ahead and bring this guy back on over here. We'll highlight all of them, and we are going to just left click somewhere over here, and they'll start running this way. Now, the only thing you want to watch out for is the animals that can attack you. Every so often, if you're running like right into like a cow or a zebra, they might attack, but usually you have no problem taking those out. It's usually the really aggressive animals that you want to stay away from. So this looks like not a bad area to put our hub up. I think we're far enough away from the pyramid to get a really good solid base down before so we can expand without running into any problems because of that pyramid. So we have our workers highlighted, we hit build, we hit hub, we put it right where we want it, and I'll go ahead and right click again because sometimes the workers just won't automatically start running, and we have like one guy keeping guard right now. Now, the main reason you want to build the hub is the hub is what is going to start building you influence on the planet that you're on. And you can look at statistics. You can see the leaderboard. Now, this is throughout the entire galaxy. If you click on the planet, you can see there's 2 other people built on this planet. There's somebody who has the same influence as me, and then there's somebody who has 422 influence. You have to reach 14,500, it might be 14,800, 14,500 influence to be the governor and or tyrant of a planet. Now these rhinos, I don't think they're aggressive unless you attack them, and they will just totally destroy you. So those are something you also want to steer clear of. Looks like we're going to have our work cut out for us when we get going here after a minute. So we have our hub built. This also allows us to start storing materials. You can start you can store 10,000 of each kind of material for each hub that you have. So if you have 4 hubs, you can have 40 up to 40,000 pieces of each material. Now that's what I've been able to experience, the game. So if we go into, I'll just show you real quick without just totally confusing you. So we'll go to manual, and then if we click on structures, go to hub. This is the building that we're currently building. Now the easiest way to get to this is if you click on the building like like that, you can click info and it'll just bring it up right here. So we have the hub is a special building in the game. It is a place for collecting and storing and distributing resources. The presence of hubs affects your status on the planet. So you can see it has 15 to 70 armor. It gives you a 20 view radius and a 75 supply radius. So it can do plus 10% for productivity and plus 1 per minute for influence. So the hub is a very crucial piece in the very beginning, which is why you want to build it first, because it doesn't really make sense to start gathering anything until you have a hub place, because your characters will store up to 20 items in their inventory, but you don't want them walking around with 20 stone, you know, until you have a hub built. So do not hit that X like I was just about to. That will totally destroy the building. You don't want to hit any X's. So let's go ahead and highlight our workers again. And the next thing you're going to want to build is a house. And a big reason for that, and I'll show you here after they get it built. Go ahead and put that down. Go ahead and get that built, y'all. Okay, so they have the house built. So if you click on the house, you can see the house will allow us to build one worker, and it will cost us 100 food, and it'll take 20 seconds to create a worker. We can also create a scout. Oh gosh, there's a tiger. Yo, tiger, get away, dude. Get away! Who do you think you are? Dude, this tiger's gonna destroy us. I can tell you guys right now, man. This is not good. Here, let's can I spin? Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, man. We're toast. The so, and that's exactly why I say don't go after the aggressive animals. You really got to steer clear. Like the rhinos are fine unless you're attacking them, but the tigers not so much. So if you click on the house, we can also build the scout for 200 food and 100 wood. So and you can see this red arrow that comes out when you click on it. Once a guy is created, he will walk out and go to that spot right there. Now the thing is, this is going to take like a lot of guys to get rid of. So we're going to start out and we're going to make one of each. Another thing the house does is add plus 10 to your population size limit. Every like a village or civilization you have will have a population size limit on that planet, and our total population, so right now because we only have one house, we can only have 10 people. We need to add two houses in order to have 20 people, and so on. So while this guy's getting food and so we can build more workers, the next thing you're going to want to build is the farm. Now, in order to build the farm, you need 200 wood and 20 ants. Now, the ants is like the only resource where I'm like, I don't know where you're actually getting that from, but I'm not complaining. So the farm, depending on where you build, the farm produces food, and the lower a farm is located above sea level, the more food it produces. So pretty much like farms on the beach, so far in my experience, have done the best, but that doesn't mean that that is the best spot. It just really depends on your terrain in on your planet. The next building I like to create is the outpost. It takes 200 wood and 100 food. It says the outposts has few HP and can be built very quickly. They have large view radius and are used to dispel the fog of war. For platinum, the view radius can be increased by 20. So you can only increase the view once. It increases like the radius. And it only allowed me to do 5. So I'm kind of curious where the 20 comes from because it's the second time you upgrade it, the view radius, because you can only upgrade it once, and when you do that, it pretty sure it only says increase it by 5, and it doesn't move out by 20. I could be wrong, but it didn't seem like that was actually the case. But anyways, I like increasing my view radius right away just because of the threats of animals and possibly pirates, especially considering I know I'm right by a period. So there's going to be pirates here and there lurking around. And I should also mention about the farm. Now that I'm thinking about it, the reason why I say farm is because your people take food to create. Food is like the biggest uh, resource requirement for creating all of the different types of people. So making sure you have a good sustainable flow of food is going to be important for growing your population. And then once you have the farm and the outpost built, the next thing you can build is the mine. The mine will start to help really automate some of those resource gathering things like stone and coal, and possibly like gold. You might also get some platinum. You might, whatever resources are on the planet, there's a chance of getting them, but chances are, if you're just kind of randomly plopping them down without using a geologist to test the ground first for specific resources, you're mainly going to get like stone and coal, but you also have the chances of getting the iron, the gold, platinum, and stuff like that. It's just you're probably going to not get a lot of it. But to start getting stone and start getting a good amount of it in the beginning, plopping down a couple mines, they're usually fairly cheap. As you can see, it takes 1,000 wood and 400 food. And between putting up a farm and putting up a mine, the only thing you're going to be doing with your workers is either building or gathering wood, or maybe if you have like an iron deposit or something or a gold deposit right by you, you'll be getting those too, of course, but you're mainly only going to be getting wood for a good period. And then once you get a whole bunch of wood, you're not really going to focus on that so much, and your workers are kind of like going to be, I don't want to say they're the front lines people, but in a way like, I mean you'll be building your military, but there will be points if you don't get off the planet soon enough and keep building and stuff like that. If you take it too slow, you will probably get wiped, and I think that's what happened to me because I didn't get on for a couple days. I didn't really worry about it too much, but I ended up getting wiped because I didn't continue to grow and build my population and my military and stuff like that, and I inevitably just didn't get off the planet. So you really got to try and get off the planet and keep working your way towards Earth, which is the ultimate goal, and conquering, hopefully, as a governor. Now, I will say I was a tyrant. You can see right now I am a settler, and I can be a settler because there is no governor on this planet. Now, once one of the three of us become a governor, this status will change to refugee. And I will have 5 days as a refugee at that point, five real time days to get off of the planet. If I don't, then I will become a invader. And at that point, the governor and or tyrant will be able to attack me without any punishments. Now, as far as I know, I was a tyrant, I think, because as soon as I became a governor, I didn't realize I was governor, and I think that's when somebody started building on my planet and I took them out. And I became a tyrant because I went against the 5 day rules, you know. So to be a governor, you pretty much just kind of follow the rules. And to know what the rules are, again, you just go over here, click on that settings icon, the gear icon, click manual, click rules. And you can go over influence, status, like on your planet. You go over change of ownership. So how does one governor not become a governor anymore? And simply put, like if there's two people on a planet and one person is governor and one person isn't, and the person who isn't gets a higher influence than the person who's already governor, that person with the highest influence becomes the new governor. And then again, that person will become a refugee. That governor becomes a refugee and has 5 days to get off the planet. um, Now, you don't necessarily have to leave. You can obviously stay, but then if you haven't worked it out with the other person on the planet, you don't know if they're going to attack you and wipe you and stuff like that. So, diplomacy is kind of at your own will and in that regards. So we'll have this worker work on this food over here because there's a little spider over here, and that's just going to destroy these two guys. Even though one of them has a gun, it'll just take a couple bites and he'll be dead. Um, and there's another spider over here. We're really not in a good spot. I don't know how long I'll play with this specific uh, group and on this specific planet and whatnot. I might just let it go to waste, um, and then do another tutorial about the buildings and or the people later on after I build up again, because this might be a little bit of a challenge. It's definitely going to be slow because I'm going to be relying on one worker. Well, I can make another worker now, so let's go ahead and do that. But so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informational. I hope it helps you out in the beginning and to kind of get that good pace going in the beginning to get you, because you know what to do now in a way, because that was a part of my dilemma in the beginning, because this game is just so less talked about on YouTube and other social media platforms and stuff like that. So there's very, very little how-to tutorials and stuff like that. So I do hope this was informational for you guys and helped you out and can help give you that better success run or better success chance in the beginning of gameplay. But anyways, I hope you liked it, and until next time, game on.